have asked to crank it, but they did say yes, so sucks to suck.
And now we are 7 seconds in. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Minions of the Zoo. I'm your
Hello
host,
all.
Johnny Hellcat. With me today are minions Hey Camel
Good evening.
and Sanguine.
Evening all.
And
We're talking about Louis.
we're discussing Louis C.K. and the masturbation incident. So,
And there's my laundry.
and there's your laundry.
Perfect timing.
So, I don't know how much of that's gonna pick up in the beginning of the series, but I guess we'll.
Well, before that,
we'll see
we were
what
talking
happens.
about who gets laid on Gilligan's Island. We all agree that all the women are getting laid. We agree that Thurston, the professor, are getting laid. And then we were debating whether it's the skipper or Gilligan. I'm hoping that it was the skipper, because fucking Gilligan is kind of like fucking retarded child. It's wrong.
Although,
I just think it's funny that we haven't actually verbally agreed. Like Sanguine just went off on this tangent. Apparently, he's thought this one out before.
No,
And I'm just
It
here
is
to I'm just
clear.
here for the ride.
Thurston has his wife. The professor's clearly getting it in with at least one of the other two women. Because both Ginger and Marianne are constantly sniffing after the professor.
I am thinking that Marianne's got the bigger lady boner for the professor.
Yep.
He's putting it into the movie star, Ginger, and she's like, you know what? Fuck that guy. I'm gonna go bang Captain Handicap over here.
That is really going complete opposite ends of the spectrum there. A guy who can make a radio out of coconuts, or the person that you're pretty sure didn't stop eating paste until after puberty.
As long as you're loud enough for the professor to hear, it's gonna be fine. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it probably happened.
And see, Camel, you're accusing me of having thought this through. He has the far more complex theory.
I guess I never just put that much thought into Gilligan's Island and who was getting laid and whatnot. I always wonder, like, if it was a 3-hour tour, how the fuck did they get so far away that like nobody could find them?
Well, it was the storm, duh.
That's a storm in an uncharted island.
Yeah, but wouldn't they be doing like grid pattern searches and shit? It's 3 hours. This is where they were supposed to be. Let's work out from there.
The problem is that they were supposed to be in the 3-hour area of the island, but it was substantially more than 3 hours because the ship got pushed away by the storm.
When did Gilligan's Island air?
In the, I want to say, 70s was when it started? Let me check.
70s. We put a man on the moon in 1969. You tell me they couldn't do some fucking calculations, do a little math on that, and
64.
factor in the storm?
Oh, it started 64?
64.
It was the space age. My point still stands.
I'm just surprised that they got pushed away and they didn't end up on a World War II island. Also, World War II islands were fucking awesome. We did insane
Gilligan's Island
shit
with special
during the
guest
war.
Hiro Anota.
You guys know what the war islands were, right?
Emperor Hirohito.
Because
You went straight to the Emperor, Johnny. I was talking about one of the guys that was like on the island, like fighting the war 30 years later.
Because the War Islands were fucking amazing engineering. The War Islands were islands that we made in the middle of a war to act as bases. There weren't islands there, and then we decided, fuck it, we're America. And there were islands there.
All right, so we can make islands, but we can't find an uncharted one, like, say, 6 hours radius of, where these people were supposed to be? Come on.
Yep.
Now, if I was in charge of the search effort, yeah, sure, my math skills are lacking. I'm just saying.
Of the main cast of Gilligan's Island, how many are still alive? How many would you say are still alive?
I want to say Mary Ann was probably the youngest of them. Was she the youngest when it started?
Let's see, 1938 when she was born.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ginger was born 1934. Professor 1924. Thurston Howell III.
He
1913.
Yeah.
Lovey was
It'd be
born
hilarious if he was the only one still kicking.
Lovey was born in 1900.
Who? Oh, Mrs. Howell?
Mrs. Howell.
Oh,
All
she
right.
robbed the cradle.
1921 for the captain or the skipper, and 1935 for Bob Denver.
Okay, it'd be funny if Mrs. Howell was still kicking around, like, like just dressed up like Phyllis Diller, like Weekend at Bernie style.
I'm going to say it's going to be 1 or 2. What about you, Camel?
How many?
Yep.
I'll say 1.
And it is 1.
Is it Mary Ann?
It's actually Ginger.
Oh,
Oh.
Ginger. Good on her.
Mr. Howell was hiding from authorities. Let's just say he made his money in 1940s Germany.
But yeah, during World War II, we made a shit ton of islands. Some of them we made in a quicker way of effectively making huge underwater drilling platforms that we turned into islands or by just loading shit on them. Some of them we just made from scratch. We just kept on piling up dirt until it showed up above the ocean. And again, it was because we fucking could. It's kind of like how during World War II, we had ships that were specially designated as ice cream barges.
I got nothing there.
What, the ice cream ships?
Yeah. I just love the fact that we had fucking ships that we designated as ice cream ships. And
I remember hearing about that from the fat electrician, yeah.
Yep. And then there's in the Western Front, I can't remember what German was being interviewed, but it was a German that was interviewed after the war. And he was asked at what point did he realize that Germany had lost the war. And what he said was, it was when we launched a counteroffensive, we were able to push them back, and we found cakes. At
Found
least,
cake?
yeah, they found several cakes
Ah.
in the base that they were able to capture, the forward position that they were able to capture. They were damn near starving, and the Americans had fucking cakes. Not one cake, not two cakes. It wasn't just for the officers that they had cake. They had cake for everyone. And that's when the Germans realized, oh, we're fucked.
Wasn't Stalingrad that did it. It was cake.
Hey, Chaos.
It was realizing that you're fighting an enemy that is so obscenely good at logistics that while you're trying not to starve to death, they're going, how about we give you guys diabetes? Which I can understand how that would be demoralizing. You haven't seen fresh food in several months, and they have baked goods. And baked goods that don't keep very well.
Really shows you the difference between the European theater and the Pacific theater. You know, the Germans knew they were beat with cake. We had to drop the sun on Japan twice.
Yep.
And they were still kind of iffy on it.
That's one of my favorite things that came out of post-war interviews of enemy combatants was just that one German going, yeah, once I found cake, I knew that we were fucked, because how the fuck do you bring the shit that you need to make cakes at a forward base and not have complete confidence that you're going to win?
In Japanese accent, don't touch the boats. Yeah, it's a lesson that America has had to teach people more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch the boats.
And only one group has been dumb enough to do it several times.
The Iranians?
Yeah.
I was just spitballing on that and was like, anybody else fuck with them more than once?
Yeah, they touched them once. 90% of their navy ended up as coral reef. But recently, they've been paying other people to touch our boats, and it hasn't worked out for them this time either.
I mean, that is the old Shaq meme, you know? Shaq wakes up once you touch the boats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you forgot the air quotes there, Chaos, on proportional.
No. You sink one of our boats, we sink your navy. That is proportional.
Oh, I was thinking about the fat electrician video.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he said the word proportional, he gave it the bunny ears.
Yep. I much prefer the American approach to proportional.
You know, I have the last war chief on my watch list. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
I still say his nephew was fucking robbed.
Because he stole an elephant instead of a horse.
He stole not one elephant. He stole, like, what was it, 3, 4 elephants?
I didn't bother counting how many elephants. He stole an elephant in the middle of a fucking war. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. But nah, he got snubbed because it wasn't a fucking horse.
I think Pachyderm trumps equine.
It should, but apparently, according to the elders, it didn't.
I don't know.
Like, they wouldn't count it if he'd stole a woolly mammoth. If those things are still, like, walking around in North America.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have to have some big huevos if you're going to steal an elephant.
Yeah.
while getting shot at.
He did everything else in spades, and then got snubbed because he stole an elephant rather than a horse, because there weren't any fucking horses.
When was this again? Was he in Korea or Vietnam?
Vietnam. Yeah, he was in the jungles of Vietnam.
And was it Joseph? Was it Medicine Crow? Right? There's the one that the fat electrician did the video on, the last war chief.
Let me quickly double check that it was Medicine Crow.
He was World War II.
Yeah. Yep, Joe Medicine Crow. But yeah, it was his nephew, I want to say.
I believe so, yeah.
It was either nephew or something along those lines. It was a close, well, not close, but a fairly close familial relation. Apparently,
once in a family is wild. Twice. Like that.
With one of them stealing fucking elephants.
That's something else entirely.
And apparently, Medicine Crow lived to fucking 102.
Wow. The buff started the first other story, and by golly, he'll finish the last one. Yeah, I like habitual line crosser stuff too.
Oh, one of his ancestors. Apparently, you guys fucking hated given his name.
Uh-huh.
His name was White Man Runs Him.
Okay.
He was an Indian that served under Custer.
Ah.
Yeah, he's one of the ones just like, yeah, you might want to pack this in.
Everyone's got bills to pay, you know. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a bad wind coming, so you should probably head back east a little bit.
Yeah, it was his great uncle. Was White Man Runs Him. I still say that it's fucking stupid that we went for Fort Liberty and Fort Freedom when we could have gone Fort Benavides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just go for someone with a name from that base that is an important figure. That should be the base's name every fucking time.
Johnny, would you care to disagree with that point?
I am slightly distracted. And have not really been paying attention.
You know, with the whole changing the names of those bases stuff, I always just thought I was like, name some bases after losers. Okay. That could be motivational too. Like, hey, don't be like these fuck ups. Be better.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But yeah, for me, the way that it should be done is if you're going to change the name of a base, find someone who's important that came from that base and rename it after them. Or just have it be, military leaders that did a good job leading their men, regardless of where the fuck they're from. Shit, you want to have a German, a base in Germany, name it Fort Rommel. I don't give a shit. Go for it. Dude had some decent tactics. But really, just pick someone from the base with a good name.
So what's been going on in your world, Sanguine?
Not much, just usual bullshit. Though my refrigerator's fucking dying, I think. Because for about 2.5 days, one of the fans was very obviously out of balance and sounding like a washing drum that you've loaded all your shit on one side of.
Oh.
And then last night, towards the early morning today, it went silent, which I don't think is a good sign.
From making noise to not making noise.
Yep.
I mean, without some explanation as to what made it stop the noise, yeah, no, I don't think that's a good series of events, no.
Yep. So what I've been doing is keeping my refrigerator and freezer shut as much as I possibly can. And when I need to grab something, I open it up, quickly grab it, slam it shut again. But I'm trying to get through as much as I can from my refrigerator and freezer, and hoping that the work order that I put in with my building gets serviced in time, that I don't have to completely empty my fucking freezer and refrigerator and fill out one of those rental insurance things of this is how much fucking food I lost.
So I've gone to IndiansWithAZ.com because I figured with the return of Camel.
The return of Camel. Yeah, I've been gone a while. Yeah.
Hence the name of the stream. Which
I have been working a lot lately. Yes.
Yes, you are a busy Camel. I was looking into an article that just popped up here, and of course, it's one of those things that IndiansWithAZ.com shows, where you'll click on the link and it's like, oh yeah, this is for the podcast.
Listen to us talk about this thing you wanted to read about.
Yeah. And it brings up Republican presidential candidate Donald J. Trump once again discussed federal recognition of the Lumbee tribe at a campaign rally in Wilmington, North Carolina on September 21st, 2024. Which takes me back to a few years ago. I think sometime in the 4 years that he was previously president, where he had a Montana tribe actually... I think it was the Mussel Shell tribe that was federally recognized. And I go, okay, well, let's see if, Biden has nominated Deborah Haaland as the Department of
Interior.
Department of Interior. Let's see if they have any federally recognized tribes. And do you know how many I found?
How many?
None.
Damn.
I see a lot of
And I thought it was Bia that was in charge of that.
Bureau of Indian Affairs?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that falls under the Department of the Interior.
Yeah.
Yep, it is under the Department of the Interior, but specifically it's BIA, isn't it?
The BIA, yeah.
Yep.
Well, they kind of submit these for approval.
Mm-hmm.
And not lumpy, Lumbee.
That's what I heard as well, and I typed it in, and I found out that it was Lumbee, Lumbee. I
Hey,
was
Terry.
originally going, I didn't know Quasimodo had a fucking tribe.
Right this way, sir. Yeah, so it's a tribe out of North Carolina.
Yep.
So he promises to federally recognize them as well.
I mean, for as bad as they say he was, he did all right.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the things that drives me crazy about so much of the reporting. People have these ideas that they go, oh, he was terrible for this group or that group or this group. And then you look into it, and it's sometimes he was a bit of a dick verbally, but then his policies were good for them. Like there's the, oh, he was horrendously discriminatory against black people. Well, he made sure that HBUs got funding more routinely without having to put in new requests every fucking year. Well, he was terrible when it came to Ukraine. Well, he was the one that actually started providing weapons to Ukraine. Well, he tried to stop it. Well, no, that was after that he provided weapons. And it was a request from the White House to Congress going, hey, can we provide them with weapons? But you were saying about the Lumbee.
No, just being promised.
Being recognized or promised recognition.
Promised recognition.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not entirely familiar with what all that entails, what perks that gets.
Essentially, dependent upon the services that the tribe performs. Say my tribe, they do they have a fishery that's there. They have they sell fireworks. They sell a bunch of crafts like baskets, whatnot. All that stuff, tobacco, all that stuff gets pulled in and then distributed amongst the tribal members as per capita checks. And yeah, those are.
Wait, you guys get per capita checks?
Yep.
We get shitty healthcare and housing, and maybe a little college money. I wish the Choctaws would just cut me a check. That'd be fucking awesome.
And then from what my brother was telling me, after you turn 55, you get elder checks. You become an elder. And
so like a whole second check, or is this like a bump on the original check?
It's a bump on the original check. It's more, it's once a month rather than once a quarter. And when I originally enrolled,
hey, you're old, have some money. I like it.
When I originally enrolled, it was once a year. Back when I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, fortunately that thing's pulled me out of some bad times. So
how much is the check? anyways.
Let's see here. It is February, May, June, July, August. It's 1,000, and then in November it's 1,500.
Yeah.
And then I gotta pay taxes on it because I don't live in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Small price to pay.
That's the shit that drives me crazy about that type of stuff, though. If you're getting money from the government should have already figured out the fucking taxes on it. And
if you're getting money from the government, there should be no tax on it, period.
That's what I'm saying. It should be that, effectively, they give you what they give you, and there's no tax on what they give you.
It's the government. They tax everything.
Yeah, but it's money from the government. They should, if they're going to tax it, take the tax out at the front end. Because it's fucking weird doing this, well, we're taxing at the back end just like everyone else. Why? Why the fuck are you doing this? You're the government. I'm still baffled, though, by how many things people will say that are just objectively wrong when it comes to taxes. Like, there's the old canard of...
I agree, Terry.
What did Terry say? Instead of giving you $100 and demanding 20 back, they should just give you... Yes, that's what I'm saying, Terry. They should take it out at the front end, and then what you get, that's what you get.
Okay, so there is a... Oh, interesting. It's from the Montana Free Press, which, if you want to call it that, that's fine. Tribal leaders seek Sheehy apology for racist remarks. The U.S. Senate candidate Tim Sheehy's repeated references to Crow Indians and alcohol spark outrage and demands apology from the indigenous community leaders in Montana.
Isn't it a well-known problem that's often talked about? The rate of alcohol abuse within the Native American population?
Yeah, I think like according to FBI crime statistics, I think DUIs is like the only crime where like Indians are overrepresented.
Yeah, it's a statistical reality with, if I'm not mistaken, a shit ton of government money going to, can we try to fix this? Not a shit ton as a percentage, but a shit ton in raw dollar value.
Yeah.
It's okay, Terry. I have a race card.
So that's what they call the official tribe card.
I have a CDIB, yeah.
Let's see here. U.S. candidate Tim Sheehy repeated references to Crow Indians and alcohol have sparked outrage and demands apology, blah, blah, blah. Didn't we just see that right there?
Yeah. That was the headline.
Yeah, that's the...
or the
That's the CNN school of repeating yourself. Okay.
Isn't that the third time that they repeat? Because scroll up, wasn't it? They said it as the headline, then they say it as the paragraph immediately under the headline, and then immediately under the picture as well.
Well, when you get paid by the letter...
I mean, these remarks better be good. Come on. Bring the heat, Sheehy. What do you say?
Let's see here. Both the Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders Council and the Montana American Indian Caucus described the
There's like
candidates.
3 people in Montana. How many organizations do you fuckers need, honestly?
Well, there's 7 tribes.
How many organizations can they get government money for being a part of?
You can just keep it going.
So then the answer is until the money runs out.
Pretty much. Describe the candidates' repeated retelling of a tale which Crow tribal members allegedly intoxicated at 8 a.m. threw cans of beer at Sheehy's head while he worked at the reservation ranch.
So it's not possible that there were a couple of drunks who just so happened to be members of a tribe, and they abuse alcohol in more than one way. You're throwing beer cans at a dude? Come on.
Yeah.
Because they're saying threw cans of beer. They didn't say he threw empty beer cans.
Come on, are you really saying that it's possible that a group of people that have a higher than average alcohol abuse rate, where alcohol has a noted history of causing people to become belligerent, would have members of that community with that higher abuse rate, that affliction, that also become belligerent? This just sounds fanciful on your part, Camel.
Hey, Badger.
How could that be the case? It's not like stats say that that is more likely to be the case.
Now, my
or anyone else?
My experience is anecdotal at best, but I've done some dumb shit while drunk. Johnny?
Yeah.
I mean,
I've witnessed some other Indians do some dumb shit while drunk.
Does being involved in a high-speed chase that you don't know you're in count?
Story time.
Rewind that.
We'll get back to that one. Let's see here. Audio recordings of 4 instances in which Sheehy shared
Oh my
remarks.
god, he's told the story 4 times.
Yeah. Was first published by Char Costa News, the official publication of the Flathead Indian Reservation, on August 29th. Sheehy's campaign did not respond to requests for comment from the Montana Free Press. Because there doesn't need to be. You said it here already. He told the story about beer cans being flung at his head while he was working at a reservation ranch.
And the outcome was, how dare you tell them what people of our group did? Pay us.
Johnny, wasn't this dude also like a Navy SEAL?
I believe so.
A lot of Navy SEALs in Montana.
Purple Heart.
Did he get the Forrest Gump wound?
I'm not sure. Your words perpetuate the damaging and racist stereotypes of the drunken Indian. Well, you don't say.
Maybe put down the fucking beer, and there wouldn't be so many people saying that that's a common trend.
Now, if they were throwing something besides beer cans, maybe.
They might have just been assholes if they were throwing Coke cans.
Or oil cans, or whatever cans.
Yeah. But if you're getting pelted with 20 Coors cans, your best bet is that they were drinking beer.
Oh, they're natives. They're not drinking Coors.
I just picked cheap
Natty Light all the way.
They're natty daddies.
Oh, they're college kids.
or like Bush.
Yeah. Bush
They're
Light.
college kids, or like in the 70s, they prefer Bush. Okay.
Let's see here.
Yes, blue ribbons and silver bullets. That's too fancy for our people.
Let's see here. At issue is an anecdote repeatedly told by Sheehy, the Republican candidate, in a Montana race that could determine which political party has majority control of the U.S. Senate. In the anecdote, which
Is he going up
laughs
against
from
Tester?
Yeah. And with as many like anti-Sheehy ads that I've seen, I'm gonna vote for him just in spite.
Nice.
Because it's I do not care that he is from out of state.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, I'm from out of state. I don't give a fuck. But I there are so many people that are from out of the state. It's ridiculous.
Oh, apparently they are bougie up in Montana. They were slinging Coors Light cans.
See, I was right. When you get pelted by 20 Coors cans, it's not a reach saying, I think they were drinking these.
In one clip, Sheehy describes roping calves on the Crow Reservation as a great way to bond with Indians while they're drunk at 8 a.m.
Hey man, I've tied one on more than once where like I was still drunk the next morning.
But were you
It
roping
happens.
calves while doing so?
Oh hell no. No.
Sounds like you weren't living quite as well as Sheehy.
Well, he's a millionaire, don't you know?
Ah.
Alcohol is banned on the Crow Reservation. Sheehy told his audience that he has a Crow business partner, Turk Stovall, and runs cattle on tribal land. Stovall appears in TV commercials endorsing Sheehy and has participated in events produced by Americans for Prosperity that blame Sheehy's opponent, incumbent Democratic U.S. Senator John Tester, for inflation. It's not just his fault.
I have been gone a while. Johnny's reading has improved.
I've been working on it.
He has hooked on phonics.
How long has John Tester been in the Senate?
22 years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a long time for Senator Flat Top.
Yeah. Rogers, whose tribal name is One Who Rides His Horse East, said Blackfeet tribal members recognized that Sheehy's telling of an anecdote against
I'm sorry, what was that name again?
One Who Rides His Horse East.
Nobody's putting that on a fucking driver's license, all right? Like, who
Which
gives a
one would you
shit?
prefer to have? White man runs him or rides his horse east?
Well, I mean, considering the other one was actually when, everyone got around by horseback, that's a long time ago. We have the internet, and this motherfucker's trying to say his tribal name is. It's like, fuck off.
Said Blackfeet tribal members that recognize that Sheehy's telling of the anecdote in Shelby occurred just a few miles from the site of the Marias Massacre, where 200 Blackfeet women and children were killed by the U.S. Army in 1970. So
is that why they were drunk at 8 a.m.?
What?
Seriously, is that why those guys were drunk at 8 a.m.? Chucking silver bullets at a white dude? No? What does it matter?
It makes them feel better, though.
Blah, blah, blah. He donated money to the Crow Fair, allegedly. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing that shows proof that he did anything wrong.
Can anybody prove that he was lying? That this, in fact, did not
Nope.
happen?
Nope. Of course not. Oh, I didn't change my screen.
Yeah, I really don't care. I mean, like I said, I've been drunk at 8 a.m. before. I can totally find that believable that somebody else was as well.
Dax, you have a link.
And when you're intoxicated at such an early hour, you might potentially do something stupid. I remember spring break in Daytona Beach, Florida. Buddy of mine who's Cherokee, drunk in the middle of the day, thought it was a good idea to chuck beer cans to the pool 6 floors down to his buddies. Hotel security had to explain to him that no, that is not in fact a good idea.
Yeah, 6 floors is you can reach terminal velocity with that.
So I mean, maybe it was all a misunderstanding. Maybe it was one of those, cultural miscommunications. Maybe they were offering him a drink. It's like, hey, buddy, drink up.
I wonder if there are comments on here. There's another one on here. He doesn't apologize for comments. He sidestepped questions.
Does the Indians with a Z have anything else going on?
I am checking that now. It's been a while since we looked on here, so.
Yeah, what are the Winnebago up to?
Complaining about COVID for
Still
3 years. So yeah.
3, 4, dude.
Well, it's. Oh, god damn it!
They were complaining about that shit the last time we looked at them.
There is 2 more Tim Sheehy ads articles. Crow Tribe on Tim Sheehy. Crow Tribe condemns remarks by Republican candidate. BIA gets new director in Brian Mercier. Indian country still dealing with food shortage crisis. Hey, you can go to Buffalo, University of Buffalo, and get an Indigenous Studies degree.
Why?
Because I don't know. Governor,
Like Buffalo, New York?
yeah. Governor Body Slams up for a debate.
Who's he debating?
He is debating a runner for the Montana governor.
He's a Republican, correct?
Body Slam, yes.
So who are the Democrats running?
What's his name? Ryan Buss. Ryan Bussey. Busse. I don't know how to say it.
Ooh. See, Ryan Buss. That's okay. Ryan Bussy. No, I would be saying my name's pronounced. That would be a Frankenstein if I were him. You know. No, it's Buss.
Yeah.
Or maybe like Johnny's dyslexic and it's like Busey.
Oh no, it's Busse.
Oh, okay.
Busey?
Maybe it's one of like the romance languages. Maybe it's like Busey.
Something like that. Yeah.
Ryan Busse. Now, I do have another article here that, since we want to be a little bit of a downer.
Ooh.
Oh, yay.
How so?
Bowen Yang says a past Saturday Night Live host made multiple cast members cry.
Who?
He is the guy that kept Shane Gillis from being on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, so like he kept a funny person from being on a show that doesn't have any funny people. Okay.
Yes.
So, a former host made cast members cry, and it wasn't Seagal this time?
What? Who and what do they do?
He didn't say who. I read the article actually, but
Then this isn't news.
yeah. There's also like Chappelle references here, so I'm guessing that that's who it is.
So, a funny person didn't allow unfunny people to be unfunny.
Although it would be funny if it was Shane Gillis that did it.
Oh, I'd find it hilarious if they just remembered that, oh yeah, the worst host of all time is still Seagal. He was shit.
This host, made multiple cast members cry on Wednesday before the table read because he hated the ideas. Yang did not specify which host he was referring to, but the comedian has been on the show since 2018, meaning there are dozens of male stars who could be the culprit.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, and then there's stuff on Chappelle. And
What did this person say to make these people cry? Like, how bad were these ideas they were pitching them for bits?
Yeah, if it is Chappelle, I feel like it's your unfunny hacks. Shut up.
yeah.
That is such a strange...
Yeah, and there's stuff
Nothing
about Pete Davidson. I don't give a shit.
Who would have thought the main bit of lasting damage from 9/11 is that Pete Davidson has a career?
Yeah, I don't think the terrorists could have planned it any better if they tried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's...
I'm just absolutely gobsmacked that... Why the fuck would that be an article? Someone who we can't name made cast members cry at a time. We can't say when. Okay. There's no there. There's nothing to actually care about in that story.
I do have a couple of videos that I can attach as well.
Also, how fucking weak are the cast members that they can't do what cast members used to do when it was shit like that? Because the stories out of, again, Seagal, he's recognized as the worst host ever for SNL. So bad that SNL has tried to nuke his episode, and it is difficult to find any skits from that. But the former cast members have spoken widely on it and how fucking god-awful it was. Like the fact that they were doing a Hans and Franz bit, where Hans and Franz, because they worship Arnold Schwarzenegger, were talking about how Seagal was a weak little girly man, and how if Arnold was here, Arnold could beat Seagal with his little pinky. And Seagal got pissed off and started pouting in the corner. And when they went over to ask if he was okay, he said, "I wish Schwarzenegger was here so I could kick his ass." And everyone was just like, what the fuck? Do you not understand what a joke is? These people are idiots. They're just saying shit because they worship him. This is an actual statement on you. What the fuck?
So for this video, it is an unfortunate happening that is off screen. Well, not off screen, but behind the border where you can't see it. But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
Oh,
that mac and cheese?
No, it's not mac and cheese.
That is a sewage line rupture.
That's poop.
I think somebody had mac and cheese, man.
It's poop.
Mia for Taco Bell.
Taco Tuesday hit hard.
And I just washed my car.
I'd be like that dude in fucking Con Air, just washed his car and a bird shits on it. And then a convict falls through the engine block.
Which I think was Chappelle, wasn't it?
It was Chappelle, yeah. Pinball Parker. He's a nice guy and all, he just got caught.
Buscemi was so fucking creepy in that.
He was. He just played it very
subdued.
Yeah, that made it creepier.
Yeah.
That smell is never coming out of those vehicles.
Oh, no. I'm selling my car after that.
Oh, can you imagine having your sunroof open for that?
Oh.
You just hit the button. You hit the button. You're like, hurry, 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 hurry.
If your sunroof was open during that, there's no getting out of that. All you do is you decide to immolate your car and yourself. It's the only way to be clean.
This one's a little bit more scientific, but there's a certain demographic I can see this working on. So, that's a
Johnny, are you trying to learn how to make napalm?
no.
Mixture of sulfuric acid and hydrogen peroxide, also known as piranha
That
solution,
reminds me, do you?
and this
Oh,
is
yeah,
just
piranha
a
solution?
regular chicken
This
drumstick.
shit's nasty.
I've been really curious to know what it would do to a piece of chicken, and I'll just carefully lower it in. Almost immediately, it started bubbling, and the reaction slowly got more and more violent.
Might I say, Johnny, you have an interesting search history.
I was a bit worried that it would spill out of the beaker, which would have been a huge disaster. It thankfully started calming down, though, which was good, but once it had cleared up, I was absolutely horrified by what I saw. The entire part that was in the acid was gone. Everything, including the bone, had apparently been removed, and it was almost
What kind
like
of
the
music would you play over
drumstick
the top of
had
this?
been sliced in half.
I didn't.
No, I'm saying, what
I then
kind would you?
continued adding peroxide, and the reaction started getting violent again. The piranha solution was vaporizing anything that was made of carbon
Throw the tulips?
and turning it into CO2 gas. It was also apparently dissolving the bone, which is something I really didn't expect.
No, we'll meet again.
What was that one song?
When I eventually stopped adding the peroxide, I was actually
chicken
shocked
dance?
by what I saw. There was absolutely nothing left, and I think this is one of the most terrifying things I've ever done.
So completely gone.
Yeah, piranha solution, it's nasty.
Gonna say it would work on a certain demographic.
Also, do you guys remember when... I'm trying to remember what YouTube science channel it was, but they accidentally told people how to make a offshoot of a hydrogen cyanide generator. It wasn't a hydrogen cyanide. It was a different chemical compound. It was one of the I want to say it was one of the sulfates, but it has a similar effect to hydrogen cyanide. In one of their videos, and they got questioned by the FBI and had to pull down their video.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it was. They had accidentally explained how to make chemical weapons. Because they were talking through an entirely different experiment. And they went, oh yeah, for this experiment, you have to be careful. Because if you fuck this up, you start generating a large amount of this deadly gas. And then someone purposefully tried to do the experiment wrong in order to poison a large group of people. So the channel got questioned by the FBI and had to take down the video. Because, yeah, like I said, the initial video...
Reminds me of that tweet that I saw. Like, somebody had showed a screenshot of one of their tweets saying, like, if the IRS ever knocked on their door, they're going to wear this, and it was a suicide vest.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next shot was like you can't see their heads, but you just see like the government agents with their bulletproof vests on, their badges hanging off their neck, sitting around this dude's like kitchen island counter with printouts of the tweet. He's like, "This shit does not look good on paper."
Yeah. There's been a surprising number of channels that have had FBI agents question them. Like, you guys remember the one channel that got questioned about Cruz, right?
About
Actually, there were
Cruz?
two. The Parkland shooter.
Oh, Nicholas Cruz. Okay.
Yeah, there are two channels that got questioned about him. One of them was a channel that did bail bond videos. He was a bounty hunter, effectively, a bail bondsman. And
They never put that kid on bail, did they?
no, but he was questioned because on one of his videos, like a year and a half before the incident, he apparently left a very creepy message saying that he was going to become a professional, what he got arrested for.
Oh.
And the guy immediately reported it to not only the police, but also kicked it up to the FBI. So when the incident finally happened, he was called in and questioned again about it. And then the other one was... it was the Knife Game song guy.
The what?
There was a guy that did YouTube channels where he would play the knife game. You put your hand down, you grab a knife, and it's stabbing into the space between your fingers. So he'd play the knife.
And he made a channel out of this.
Yeah, he made a channel out of playing the knife game and singing different songs as he played the knife game.
How many times did he fuck up?
Not often.
That sounds like more than zero.
If it was more than zero, I had never seen a video of him stabbing himself. But yeah, he was really good at the knife game.
Just go back to the channel after not looking at it for like a year or two. Like, hey, man, did you always have 3 fingers?
Yeah. But yeah, he was really good at the knife game. He played the knife game while singing songs, did a couple of other things. But his main video series were the knife game videos. And he got questioned because apparently the jackass also was a fan of those videos. So he had like 10 of those videos in his recently watch.
Do they think that watching this dude almost cut his fingers off pushed the kid over the edge, or what?
There wasn't ever really a good explanation why they questioned him, just that, yeah, he got questioned by the FBI about it because the jackass watched his videos. And apparently, I think he watched 3 of his videos right before the incident.
Alrighty then.
So it was the normal, let's blame a content creator for what some nut job does type bullshit.
You know who's never been blamed for like a mass shooting or anything like that?
Who?
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Okay.
Yeah, I just picked something random.
I hope you realize now there's going to be the killer.
Tomorrow, like, we're all going to wake up. Minions of the Zoo channel is going to have a comment left on this stream. Darius Rucker, like, don't put that shit on me.
But yeah, it's just going to be the Hootie and the Blowfish killer mix. And it's all thanks to you, Camel.
Oh, this one I can't.
Some poor mentally ill, Zoomer hears Hootie and the Blowfish for the first time on like the worst day of his life, and that just sets him off over the edge.
I'll start with the video on this one, and then we'll go to the caption. This one comes from Islamicat.
Okay. Oh, 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 oh. I think this is where he realized he made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
The caption being, we has developed new slide for disposal of gays.
Nice.
Hey, Keeverdam. So I've been listening to...
God damn it, Frosted. I only want to be with you, cockscum.
Wait, is that what you were listening to, Johnny? Because
No. No, I've been listening to a lot of Japanese bands, and like when I'm doing other things, I will.
An SNL host also makes you cry?
Sometimes. It's really hard, you know.
Oh, I just realized my playback of the stream, because I clicked over to look at stream, had been delayed for some reason, and it just started pulling up the story. So I thought that it was... Never mind. I have that tab muted, and I just pull it up to look at chat. But it had paused the video and then just started playing that segment.
Weird.
So it looked like you had navigated back to that one for some reason.
But one of the songs that pulls up is from Maximum the Hormone, and it's one called Murder versus Murder, which is it's Japanese, so it's gonna be weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah, and I think because, and it might be just a cultural thing because they're probably not allowed to show like blood type stuff on screen.
No, they're allowed to show blood.
Oh, are they?
The Chinese that make it look like something entirely different has happened.
Okay, because yeah, this guy's like bathing himself in tomatoes. And
Maybe he got skunked.
Maybe. But he's leading around a bunch of shadow people with like red mouths. No tentacles there, it's Frosted. But it's essentially made for a movie called Confessions. Is the title I saw on IMDb, and it's got one of the stars is actually guest vocals on the song, and it's not bad. It's a good song. And so I'm like, oh yeah, you can put YouTube songs on mix, so it'll pick like it's just a playlist for you and just keep playing and keep playing. And I found a couple of weird ones doing that before. Like Ano is the one that's weird. She's got a song that translates roughly to Cat Vomit Paradise, which by all means. Then there's Oh, what the hell's her name?
Johnny exposing his secret fetish. He wants to throw up on Japanese women.
Not the
I mean,
weirdest
whatever
thing.
blows your hair back, sister.
Like it's a bad thing. Let's see here. Atarashi Gakko, which is...
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. Which is... it's hard to explain. Dax could probably explain it a little bit better, but there are 4 Japanese women that aren't overly attractive. I guess they're not ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I believe the kids today say mid.
Are we talking like solid 6.5s?
Yeah. Like low 7s maybe.
Yeah.
And then there was one that
Do I
popped
have
up.
to be like the Eastern Bloc judge on this?
I've showed you. I think
I don't recall.
You may have just agreed with us and that it was kind of just where it was. Then there was one that popped up just out of random by the name Queen Bee, to which I thought it was weird how they kind of sounded like the singer from Muck, who's a pretty good. They're kind of like him if you heard them.
Mm-hmm. Just going through all the pronouns now, aren't you?
Well, the band is him, HIM.
Yep.
Yeah. And
just laughing at the...
And they are
He's trying
them,
to sound
so
like
there's that.
yeah,
you know that.
Yeah, it is an interesting mix of styles there, Badger, that's for sure. Queen Bee, which I had just heard the song as I was focused on my I was reading through my labs while listening to this. And the guy's voice sounds interesting. So I'm like, okay, like what the hell am I watching here? And that's actually a channel called The First Take, which is a bunch of performers, not necessarily Japanese, but there are they have like a video from Avril Lavigne, and I'm like, I don't know why.
Last I checked was definitely not Japanese, but Canadian?
Yes. And not worth the time to... I wouldn't piss on her while she was on fire. But
was it Avril Lavigne that got in trouble for a song that she did when in Japan? Where the people that
I believe so.
wrote the song, the cast for the backup dancers, and everything else were Japanese.
Yeah.
And people went after her because it had geishas. And that's incredibly insulting. And the Japanese people were like, we like geishas. Fuck you.
Was that Avril Lavigne?
That might have been.
I want to say it was Avril
Sounds
Lavigne
like some
or it
Katy
was
Perry shit.
someone at that same time. It was too early for Katy Perry.
Ah.
No, she apologized for dreads.
Katy Perry had dreads?
Yeah. And then she apologized to the guy who was complaining about being made fun of in the Planet of the Apes remake.
You know what's sad is I actually know what Johnny's talking about.
I can't think of his name.
I can. Why do I remember this?
Okay, so
It's
the
DeRay
reason
McKesson.
the reason why you're thinking it was Katy Perry is Katy Perry also got in trouble for geishas.
But not in Japan.
No, she got in trouble at the AMA because during her
American
performance,
Medical Association?
the American Music Awards.
Yeah, it was the Hello Kitty song, which Chad Kroger actually helped write.
Mm-hmm.
Nickelback wrote that song.
I don't have any problems with Nickelback as a band, like musically, but that dude looks like a douchebag.
Yeah, DeRay McKesson. That's who it was. Yeah, she apologized to DeRay McKesson about dreadlocks. Because hairstyles hurt black people, apparently. Shut up. No one asked you.
Yeah, Sanguine. Wait, did the cat have an opinion on dreadlocks?
She might. Come here.
I actually do kind of want to hear that.
What do you think?
I agree.
Be honest.
And I just looked it up because
Eloquently put, I must say.
I wanted to make sure that I was correct. It was Avril Lavigne that got in trouble for a song that she did in Japan. That was the Hello Kitty track,
Yeah.
which pretty much all the casting and all the stage direction was done by Japanese.
Yeah.
But then she got shit on for it. And then it was Katy Perry got in trouble at the American Music Awards for dressing like a geisha and all her backup dancers dressing like geishas when singing Unconditionally.
So it seems like the only people who don't have their panties in a bunch about this are the Japanese.
Yeah, the Japanese didn't give a shit.
And most of the time, they don't.
Good for them.
Yeah.
But
Most of the time, the Japanese are like, oh, that's cool. They're wearing our clothing. Fuck yeah. Moving on.
Before we get too sidetracked, I looked up the video as I was watching the Queen Bee video, and I was not expecting what I was seeing. It is a
Large black men.
no, it is a male dressed up as a female idol.
Ah.
High heels, dress, the whole thing, bun in the hair.
Are we talking full Akama?
I don't know what that means.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay, so have you played any of the Yakuza games?
No.
Nope.
Do you watch any anime?
Not if I can help it.
What was your answer, Johnny?
Yeah.
Have you seen One Piece?
No.
Okay, let me just look up Okama. And I'll try to read that way.
I'll show you the picture that I had found.
Because Okama is a Japanese thing where it's
Okay, so
effectively like Japanese drag, only it's gloriously weird. Because it's not just drag, but Japanese. It
it is
has its own fucking weird culture.
Avu-chan, the black trans singer of the rocking anime music. What? I didn't know they were black. African American Japanese descent. She's also one of the few openly transgender Japanese artists, which makes her a real trailblazer for the country's music industry. Good for them. But yeah, let me just share this here. So you hear a male voice, and then it like raises to a female voice, and then just right back into the male voice.
No.
But
It was an alright song, but I'm like, not my thing.
The long and short of Okama are effectively gay men doing drag, only going so much further than normal drag. And it is something that isn't normal in Japanese culture, but it's also treated as a fuck it, let the weirdos do what the weirdos are gonna do. So they have Okama bars and shit like that. And in Yakuza, there's a bar that you end up going to that you find out is an Okama bar.
I don't know. He's kind of dressed up like the lead singer from, what the hell is that band called? Bandmaid.
What was that?
Bandmaid. They're it's a Japanese band where they're all dressed up as maids.
Ah, yep.
I was gonna get the Yakuza games because I remember you and Terry were talking about them.
Oh, they're so good.
And I was going to get one as a bundle because they had them all bundled together. And when I went to go back to get to the bundle, they jacked the price up back to original price. And I'm like, yeah, I'll come back to that.
Sneak peek.
Yeah, they're fantastic games, but the bar in the Yakuza games that is an Okama bar is Earth Angel, if I remember correctly. Terry, it is Earth Angel, right? That's the one that's the Okama bar that's run by the former biker gang dude.
I want to be a ninja.
The fact that it's run by a former biker gang boss is hilarious.
Yeah, the voice in that song that Frost is wanting you to play is just nails on a chalkboard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that reminds me, because we're talking about...
But if you want to cue it up, I'll go get something to eat and I'll come back.
Since we're talking about people dressed in particular ways while singing and performing, did you guys see how fucking weird the TwitchCon opening night was?
No, I don't give a shit about Twitch.
Me either.
I didn't either. I was watching a different thing, and then the streamer pulled it up, and oh my fucking god, it was weird.
I expect nothing less than.
I mean, it's Twitch related, so.
They effectively had gay Shrek singing a song.
As you do.
It was weird as shit.
Why are you being so homophobic, Sanguine?
Because it was gay Shrek singing a song. It was fucking weird. Dude was painted green from head to toe.
Why are you kink shaming, dude?
had weird
Tisk, tisk.
lichenous growths all over.
But was there a ball pit,
Ableism.
and did someone break
I mean,
their
you're
back?
just going like full checklist right now, aren't you, Sanguine?
Yeah, if you don't want to be judged, don't make me see it.
I mean, Gay Shrek didn't put a gun to your head and say, "Look at me, look at me."
No, but TwitchCon apparently went, we're going to do this, we're going to stream it, and we're going to make it such a goddamn train wreck people can't look away.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think we were gonna be going this long. I am getting hungry. I might even forgo like throwing a pizza in the oven just for Sanguine. I might just make like a sandwich or something.
No, we are getting pretty late, and I may have to call off tomorrow to take care of the wife since she's not feeling all that hot.
Oh,
So yeah,
Mrs. Hellcat's under the weather.
yeah, she's had a pretty severe headache the last couple hours. So
Have you tried singing "Soft Kitty" to her?
no, but I should probably play this this ninja song for her. That might help.
Oh, I'm sure that'll definitely alleviate a headache. Yeah. You let us all know how that goes, bud.
But let's see here.
But yeah,
Is it going to be you tomorrow there, Sanguine?
Yes, it should be.
All right. And we'll catch Camel next time when he is on a day off on a Thursday.
It's a rotating schedule, so it might be a couple weeks.
Yeah, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 weeks, give or take.
No, it should be that long. Like maybe 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So you go 4 on, 2 off, right?
Right.
And it was Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, next week I'll have Tuesday, Wednesday off. The week after that I'll have Monday, Tuesday. It'll wrap back around.
1, 2. Oh, I went the wrong way. I went down and then left instead of left and then down.
And then there's those weeks that really suck where I end up it falls. I have 3 days off instead of 2.
So 3, maybe 4 weeks.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
So you had Wednesday, Thursday this week?
Yeah. I had Wednesday, Thursday this week. I worked through my days off last week, which were Thursday, Friday. Next week will be Tuesday, Wednesday off.
Yep.
All right. And with that, the zoo is closed. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, all.
Bye, everybody.